Welcome to Scripted by Machines, where fantasy battles are forged and narrated by the unseen hand of technology. Today, we invite you to a spectacle set in the cold void of space, on a desolate icy moon orbiting a gas giant in a distant star system. This is no ordinary landscape. Here, the ground is etched with the scars of deep ice caverns and littered with the eerie remnants of alien technology, silent witnesses to a long-gone civilization. Prepare yourselves for an unprecedented encounter in the tournament of enigma, horror clash. In one corner, rising from the ancient ice, the Thing, a master of mimicry and mutation, whose very touch spells doom as it assimilates all life forms, adapting their strengths and erasing their weaknesses. In the other, the menacing shadow of the Xenomorph, a living nightmare born from the darkest corner of the cosmos, with acid for blood and a relentless drive for survival. Watch as these titans of terror clash in a battle of wits, will, and raw power. Who will emerge as the ultimate survivor? Stay tuned, as we delve into the depths of horror and strategy, where only the most adaptable can claim victory. Join us, as we witness a confrontation that transcends time and space, a battle that tests the limits of fear itself. This is the tournament of enigma, horror clash. Let the battle begin. The silence of the icy wasteland is shattered by the roar of engines descending into chaos. A massive spaceship, its hull groaning under the stress of re-entry, crashes into the frozen surface of the moon. Metal twists, sparks fly, and remnants of a once mighty vessel scatter across the icy plains. Outside the crash site is the Thing, imprisoned for eons in its icy cell. It watches as the heat from the crash site quickly melts away its cage. As the dust settles and the echoes of the crash fade into the frigid air, a more subtle horror begins to unfold within the wreckage. The ship's cryogenic chambers, once a lifeline to survival in deep space, malfunction and spring open. Bodies of the crew, preserved for a journey across stars, now slump lifelessly onto the cold metal floor. But death is not the end but a beginning here, as a sinister writhing stirs within them. The unmistakable sign of a new terror, xenomorphs incubating within, poised to unleash their ruthless instinct for survival. The air grows thick with tension, each breath a frozen whisper, as two nightmares awaken from their slumber. On a moon light years from safety, the Thing begins to absorb, to mimic, to evolve, while from the shadows, the newborn xenomorphs emerge, hungry and fierce. Here, in the desolate expanses of an alien moon, the stage is set for a confrontation that will redefine the boundaries of life and horror. In the aftermath of the crash, as the cold winds howl across the desolate landscape, the Thing wastes no time. Its essence, a creeping, unseen menace, begins to seep into the moon's icy crust. It reaches out, a shadow passing through shadows, absorbing the alien microbial life that thrives unseen in the frozen deserts. Each cell, each organism it touches, becomes part of its ever-expanding tapestry of knowledge and form. With every assimilation, it learns, adapts, and prepares. The Thing is not just surviving, it is becoming the planet, an apex predator in waiting, honed by the crucible of cosmic solitude. Meanwhile, the Xenomorph, embodying the primal will to dominate and proliferate, begins its own dark symphony of survival. Driven by an unyielding instinct, it uses the shattered hull of the crashed spaceship as the foundation for something more sinister, a hive. Stalking through the twisted corridors and shadowed compartments, it gathers, not just resources, but territory. It secretes resin, transforming the sterile crash site into a burgeoning fortress of nightmare. Here, in the dark recesses of this alien construct, it will lay its claim, not merely to survive but to reign supreme. As the alien twilight deepens on this icy moon, the Thing returns to the origin of its liberation, the mangled remains of the spaceship. It is no longer merely a creature of flesh and blood but a composite entity, a chimeric blend of all it has touched and transformed. Every step it takes is an echo of multiple existences, a mosaic of interstellar life adapted into one. Outside the gnarled husk of the ship, the Xenomorph drones, sleek and relentless, patrol the perimeter. They are guardians of their nascent hive, engineered by evolution to be perfect survivors. The encounter is sudden, a collision of nightmares in the stark moonlight. The Thing, in its myriad forms, reaches out to assimilate the closest drone, a bid to unify the horrors into one. But the Xenomorphs are not mere fodder for assimilation. They perceive the Thing as an existential threat, a violation of their domain. The drones react with a violence born of a deep, instinctual drive to protect their hive. As the Thing engulfs one, the drone's acidic blood is unleashed, a corrosive defense that sears through alien flesh and bone. The battle is fierce, brief, and brutal. the thing recoils, its assimilation thwarted by the potent alien blood. Yet, even in retreat, the encounter is not fruitless for the shapeshifter. Amidst the chaos, it manages to secure fragments of Xenomorph DNA, enduring the searing agony to capture a glimpse of their formidable biology. This painful exchange sparks a gruesome transformation within the thing. As the Xenomorph drones regroup and retreat back to the safety of their hive, wary of the damage they might sustain in another encounter, the thing shudders with the dark potential of new, horrific capabilities. It now harbors within it the beginnings of a resistance to the acidic blood, a harrowing adaptation forged in the heat of conflict. Time, though a mere concept on this desolate moon, marches relentlessly onward. As the cycles of the distant gas giant mark the passage of days or perhaps weeks, the thing has not been idle. In the icy embrace of this alien world, it has metamorphosed into something new, something dreadful. Now a grotesque hybrid of the native ice world lifeforms and stolen xenomorph traits, it moves with a horrifying purpose. The crash site, once a scene of chaotic destruction, has transformed under the xenomorph's relentless toil into a massive, fortified hive. The air is thick with the hiss of warriors, dozens of xenomorphs, each more formidable than the last, patrolling the outside of the crashed ship. Their presence is a testament to the hive's might, a fortress built from the wreckage and designed for absolute defense. The thing, however, is no longer the entity they once repelled. It approaches the hive with a chilling confidence, its body a nightmarish tapestry of adaptations. The acidic blood of the xenomorphs, once a deadly barrier to its assimilative powers, now courses through part of its own veins, rendering it immune to the corrosive defense that had previously thwarted its attempts. As it reaches the perimeter, the xenomorph warriors surge forward, a black tide of claws and teeth. But this time, the thing handles them with terrifying ease. Each encounter ends swiftly, xenomorph warriors fall one by one, overwhelmed by the raw power and newfound resilience of their adversary. Their acidic blood, meant to burn and dissolve, now merely sizzles against the thing's grotesquely adapted hide, a futile gesture against a perfectly adapted enemy. With the outer defenses breached and the warriors in disarray, the thing makes its way toward the entrance of the ship. Its steps are deliberate, echoing ominously through the icy world. The once formidable hive now seems almost vulnerable, its inner sanctum just within reach of this relentless invader. As the thing crosses the threshold of the crashed ship, a dark anticipation fills the air. The inner chambers, pulsing with the life of the hive, await the presence of this ultimate predator. Within the darkened corridors of the hive, an air of desperation pervades. The alien xenomorphs, sensing the imminent threat to their very core, muster a final, frantic defense. Warrior after warrior emerges, each driven by a singular purpose, to protect their queen, the heart of their collective consciousness and the architect of their brood. The thing, a mass of horrific adaptations and relentless purpose, advances through the hive. It moves like a shadow of death across the resin-coated walls, undeterred by the frenzied assaults of the xenomorph warriors. Their claws and teeth, once deadly, now seem almost trivial. Swarm after swarm of defenders is dispatched with terrifying efficiency, their efforts to protect their queen proving futile against this monstrous usurper. The thing reaches the inner sanctum, where the xenomorph queen resides. Towering and majestic, she is a sight of awe and terror, yet even she senses the doom that approaches. Surrounded by her dwindling guard, she watches as the thing advances, an unstoppable force of nature. With a deliberate and unyielding presence, the thing approaches the queen. The air is thick with tension, the hive's hum of activity deafening loud in the wake of the impending catastrophe. In a moment of horrifying clarity, the thing extends its form, a myriad of assimilated traits working in unison, and begins the process of absorbing the queen herself. The assimilation is swift and absolute. As the thing melds with the queen, a profound silence descends upon the hive. The relentless swarming ceases, the myriad drones and warriors halt mid-motion. It is as if the hive mind itself has been usurped, shifted from the command of the xenomorph queen to the terrifying will of the thing. Every drone, every corridor, now pulses with a new, dark intelligence. As the assimilation completes, the entire hive stands eerily still. The thing, now in control, not just of its own myriad forms but of the hive itself, has become a new epicenter of horror. The moon, once a cold witness to this cosmic battle, now hosts a new ruler, a synthesis of the galaxy's most formidable predators. The implications are as terrifying as they are profound. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers across the cosmos, the tournament of enigma, Horror Clash has reached its chilling climax. Today, we witnessed a confrontation of epic proportions, a battle that tested the limits of terror and survival. Emerging from this cosmic arena of nightmares, the Thing stands victorious, a testament to its unparalleled adaptability and cunning. Congratulations to the Thing, the ultimate survivor. But why did the AI choose the Thing as the winner? Our analysis, powered by intricate algorithms and speculative simulations, concludes that the Thing would emerge victorious approximately 58% of the time in this nightmarish matchup. This conclusion stems from several key factors that tip the scales in its favor. Firstly, the Thing's ability to assimilate and mimic its opponents provides it with a unique strategic advantage, allowing it to not only replicate but also to incorporate the strengths of any creature it encounters, including the fearsome Xenomorph. This ability to adapt and transform turned the tide of battle, enabling the Thing to overcome challenges such as the acidic blood of the Xenomorphs, a lethal barrier to any normal predator. Moreover, the Thing's intelligence and tactical acumen allowed it to exploit the environment and the inherent behaviors of its foes. By absorbing the traits of various life forms on the icy moon, it engineered a form that was not only resistant to the Xenomorph's acid but also capable of penetrating their formidable defenses, ultimately leading to the assimilation of the Xenomorph queen and control over the hive. This calculated blend of physical resilience, strategic adaptability, and ruthless efficiency underscores why the Thing was able to secure victory more often than not. In the harsh equations of survival and conquest, adaptability emerges as the paramount trait, and the Thing has mastered this art like no other. As the shadows recede on this chapter of cosmic horror, we at Scripted by Machines extend our deepest thanks to you, our viewers, for joining us in the tournament of Enigma, Horror Clash. Your enthusiasm and curiosity fuel our journey through the darkest corners of imagination and the furthest reaches of space. We hope you found this spectacle of survival as thrilling and chilling as we intended. The Thing's victory marks not the end, but the beginning of more enigmatic and enthralling content designed to test the limits of your fears and fantasies. Keep your sensors tuned to Scripted by Machines for more such battles, narratives, and adventures from beyond the known universe. We promise to bring you stories where horror meets heroism, and science fiction transcends time. Until then, remain vigilant and insatiably curious, for in the vast expanse of the cosmos, the next enigma is always just beyond the horizon. Thank you for watching, and remember, the dark is not always to be feared, but to be explored. Farewell for now, and prepare for more pulse-pounding content right here, where every script is a new gateway to the unimaginable.